So let's talk about it. Being introverted, being socially anxious, being socially awkward, but still wanting to achieve a lot of things in your life and still wanting to, make your dreams come true, be ambitious, all of that, all of that. Welcome, my fellow introvert. If you can relate, this video is not going to be a video where I'm going to be telling you, oh, how I overcame it, because I'm still going through it. I'm still trying to, find my footing, especially now that I'm trying to do my freelance career. A lot of things have just been going through my mind, and I'm just like, I really do want to share this, and I just want to, let anyone else that is watching me know that they're not alone. This video was originally supposed to be like a vlog, and then I'll just like talk about it here and there, but I really did want to like create like a sit down video where you can actually like see my face. I really do hope that you get another perspective on how we can create our working lives, how we can build our career as introverts. And yeah, so keep on watching. Ever since I was a child, I loved creating, right? I just loved having ideas in my head and just putting them into reality. Okay, so I used to write songs, I used to design graphics, I used to write books, chapters of books. I never finished a book, but I wrote books as well. I made clothes. I made the one I'm wearing right now. So I've always had that urge to just put things into the world and just create basically. And I would call myself ambitious, not because I want to, climb up the corporate ladder, to have millions and millions of dollars. It's not that. It's just a case of have things in my mind. And every time I have an idea, I always want to execute on that idea. Of course, I want to live a life where I get to, do work that I really do love, do work that really matters. And of course, being compensated for that and being able to live like an average life. And also I had always known that I was introverted right from when I was younger. I was never the kind of person that always had like different kind of friends, talking to different kind of people. Social gatherings just weren't for me. When I now started having these really bad thoughts about, oh, you're introverted, so you won't be able to let your creative side flow, like let your ambitious side like thrive, was after I tried and failed in my second business. And there came this voice in my head that it's because no one showed up for you. And then even when I now wanted to like get a new job, I didn't have any connections, and it was just like, wow, like, because like that's just the way of the world. When you have like a good network in your life, you're able to like keep all those ties with people and constantly be in people's mind. It really does help a lot. Because even if you are talented, if you do not know the right people, you won't be able to get into the door, most of the time, because of course it's not all the time. But kind of let me down kind of rabbit hole, just like, so what am I doing in this world then? Like what am I doing here? If I will never succeed, I will never make a living off of what I want to do. I'm not built for this world, basically. I'm not built for this world. I'm not built for the ways of this world. And I just don't belong. Those are the thoughts that I was having. I was just trying to build a career for myself. Those are the thoughts that I had, and they really did, lead me down a rabbit hole and just make me feel so bad. Yeah, that's just that. Those are just the thoughts I was having. But thank God, after that, that was when I now decided to do all this self-development, learn more about myself and find out who I am through productivity and through self-development, finding my identity in God and finding out why was I created. Because it was a case of like, okay, I am created like this and I don't know why. So I need to go and meet the person who knows why, isn't it? Like that's just it. Because before you get to that awareness of who you are in God and why God created you, and knowing that you have a creator and knowing that you have someone who created you like that, it can be really difficult for you to come to terms with parts of you that you sometimes wish were different. And yeah, so because of that, I was able to overcome those thoughts. I was able to understand that, okay, I am who I am for a reason. Now I have, I'm in terms with God, because I was telling God that, God, like, if this is not who I'm meant to be, if this is not, because of course, because of all the self-development things I had, I now, went down a rabbit hole of like trying to figure out, okay, what are the, parts of my childhood, what are the parts of my life previously that have led to me being like this now? And of course, I found quite a lot, right? I found quite a lot. So, it's just that journey of just, going in deep and just figuring out, okay, God, why did this happen? And is this the way I'm meant to be? But of course, I do realize that those experiences that I went through before really did kind of shape the way I see friendships and shape the way I see, people. Even before that, I was never someone that, was always outgoing. Like I always had one friend, I always had one best friend. But now it's just a case of not just even about being best friends with people, but just being in contact with people, right? I find it really hard to be in contact with people, especially people that, because when I was in school, like secondary school, university was really, really easy because you're always like around people. But now, guys, like, I don't talk to no one. I don't be talking to no one, you know? So yeah, but I just really went through all of that with God and figured out that yeah, it is something that I do need to work on, and I think it's something that I'll always work on. But it is not something that should hold me back. It is not something that should make me feel like I do not belong in this world and I cannot find my space in this world, because there are still people like me that do not need that, right? So yeah, so thanks to God renewing my mind and giving me hope again about life and about everything, I was able to start another business, a third business. And even though that flopped as well, I was able to overcome it fast because I knew that I already had that identity in Christ, and I already knew that it wasn't a case of me, it was just a case of, okay, the idea that I had just wasn't good enough. Because before that, it was a case of, oh, it's because of me, it's because people don't like me, I'm just not likable. So I failed at the third business, but I didn't take it personally and I just moved on. When it got to time for me to do this freelance career, because if you don't already know, it was because I was in a school, an online school that I was enrolled in. So I noticed that, you know, their systems could be so much better in terms of like the student experience and all of that. So yeah, I decided that okay, I would try to like create something after I was done with what I wanted to do for the school. I would try to create something for them and, you know, push it to them. So of course that voice showed up in my head again. And honestly, I gave it space, right? I actually gave it space to the point that I was not thinking that maybe I should be more open, talkative, try to create that deeper rapport with, you know, my coaches, just so that, you know, they can vouch for me when I now want to like send in my proposal. And those are the kinds of things that extroverts would do naturally. Like that's just who they are. But as an introvert, it would take you that extra step. But then the Holy Spirit dropped something in my mind. It was like, if you're doing this, it's going to come from such a wrong place. So from a very, very wrong place. Because I would not be interacting with people. I would not be building personal links with people because I actually see them, and because there's actually that link, because there's actually that desire to do it, but just because I want to get something from them, just because I want to use them basically. And that's not the way I want to live my life. That's not the way I want to live my life. Because of course, if I did try to do that and if I did succeed at that, but I'm not even sure I would have succeeded, because as I've said, I'm kind of socially awkward, especially when it comes to like personal life. But when it comes to like work life, I'm gonna talk because it's like work, it's not personal. But anyways, I'm really glad that I did not do that, because when I want to approach them, it would have been like a case of, oh, I'm going into that, you know, proposal from a viewpoint of, oh, they know me, they will listen to what I have to say, rather than how can I create something that actually works for them? How can I, you know, blow their mind? How can I make them realize that they do need my service? So it's not a case of, okay, I'm coming into this thing feeling entitled, you know? And honestly, just think about it. Which one is going to actually result into me becoming a better person and me being a better person and knowing that I am not sacrificing my goodness and the way I see myself? Because if I had done that, I would have felt like just such a sellout. And yeah, you guessed it, the latter, trying to at least focus on value, not focusing on relationship to help you. You know, that's just like what really came into my mind. Being good at what you do is enough. And if you really do look at how can I create value for this person? How can I contribute in a good way to this person? And the person will be able to see that, and it's not just because, oh, okay, I am creating a rapport with them that they want to hire me. Do you understand what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I got the job, and I feel like it's not because I networked, but it was because I just really went overboard. I just tried my possible best to try to create value for them. And he saw that. And even though he didn't, you know, want what I built, he still gave me other projects that I have built now and that, you know, he's using now. And yeah, that's just after that, honestly. Like, that's what I would say, like, being good at what you do is enough. And I also want to talk about having a personal brand, okay? Because at times I wonder that, would life in the olden days have been better for me? But I remember technology and I'm like, hell no. Because through technology, we have this opportunity, this tool to talk about our interests, share our work and expertise while still creating from our bubble. Because like I remember I've thought about this, like why am I so comfortable creating these videos, trying to, you know, create my personal brand on YouTube, or even like the businesses, why have I had that zeal, that drive to, you know, actually create things and put them on the internet, put them for people to see? And I stumbled across a video, I can't remember where like I even found it, but I wish I saved it. I can't believe I didn't save it, but I don't even know if it's a video video or like a text, when you get like information, it just registers in your brain. But maybe at that time you don't even think it as registered. I think that's what happened to me because after a while, like that thing just came to my brain. It's like she said that she can make these videos and she loves expressing herself because in the grand scheme of things, it is not her personal life. It's not our intimacy or our friendship that she's promoting. It's her work. It's what she does that she wants to promote. So of course, I would highly suggest, guys, if you are an introvert and if you still have like a lot of things that you want to do and you still want to create a personal brand, because it just helps you to put yourself out there and let people know what you can do while still not having to, rely on, changing who you are and, trying to use people to get people to see you. And yeah, I just love creating personal brand. And honestly, of course, even with like all the skills that you get to learn and everything like that, really helps a lot. But yeah, so I just want to click for me. Honestly, those are just the two things. Trying to tell myself that being good at what I do is enough, and just putting in more efforts to be better and to be able to do things faster is enough, and also creating my personal brand, which is really really good for me as an introvert. And yeah, so the right people will always come, and that's what I was telling myself. By God's grace, see, there's gonna be an empire. That's why I'm urging you, introverted people, we need to step up. Okay, if you have a business idea, do it. Okay, because if you're working with introverts, you would understand. So introverts would not necessarily, want you to be personal with them. If you're an introvert, please get to work. Okay, get to work. Let's have our own part of the business landscape and workplace landscape and all of that. So yeah, that's just that. Those are just the two things that are, pushing me forward and just allowing me to continue to try to reach my goals. Yeah, so of course, nothing is permanent. Change is only constant. Maybe 30-year-old Shawa who has experienced all the experiences that I'm yet to experience, pun intended, will have a different outlook on life. But for right now, as I am 26 right now, it is currently 11th of August 2025, and that is the mindset that I have towards all of this. For now, this works for me and it keeps me from going down that rabbit hole of depression and just not feeling like I belong in this world. And I hope that it does the same for you as well. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. You are an OG. I'm really happy that I did do this because it felt like kind of like a therapy session at this point. I'm really happy. I hope that you can relate as well. And if you can't even relate, if you're like an extrovert, I hope this video allowed you to understand introverts even more and just the way we work and all of that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.